Hello, and welcome to the Shawnee Show with 11 Moons tonight. I still got a lot of work to do, and I'm already running late, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. We're gonna be talking about your rising or ascendant sign and what that means for you, as well as the planetary influence that your rising sign, like the ruler of your rising sign, has. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to go ahead and jump on in without further ado. So your rising sign or your ascendant sign basically represents how you express yourself to the world. It represents how, like, the power that people feel from you when they first encounter you and when they meet you. So your sun sign kind of represents the light that you reflect onto the world, and this has more to do with, hey Tiffany, has more to do with power and energy, your rising sign. So your rising sign in some capacity is more important than your sun sign, because that's the first thing that people feel from you, whether they talk to you or not. Like, they can just kind of see it and feel it in your energy. So with that being said, I'm just going to go through all 12 of the signs. I'm going to talk about the signs ruling planet and what effect that has on your first house, which your ascendant is your first house placement. So that's what we're doing. So if you are an Aries rising, Aries are ruled by Mars, so that means that you have a large influence of Mars in the first house. Okay, now you may have other planets in your first house, it just depends on what your chart is, but because you have that Aries ascendant, that influence of Mars is there. So Aries ascendants can be very aggressive, they're very dominant, they're hard-headed, they want to do things their way. They are impulsive. Hey, Constance. They're very, very headstrong. They're the type of people who have to learn by experience. They cannot take your word for it. It ain't no, I'll figure it out. It's, I got to do it myself, and then if I don't like how I feel after I do it myself, then I'll let it go. But other than that, I got to experience that shit on my own. Aries rising people are very defensive. You're an Aries sun, though. You might not be an Aries rising. I'm talking about rising signs right now. Constance said, what up, babe? So yeah, Aries risings can be very defensive. They're very independent and strong-willed. They're very fiery. Some of them may have a little bit of a short temper or anger issue. And they are very protective over the people that they love. They also are very loyal. So, even though they gonna go for what they know regardless, they're gonna be loyal and protective of once they build something with you. So that's a good sign. Okay, moving on to Taurus. Taurus rising, you guys have a heavy influence of Venus in your chart. It can make you very vain, very materialistic, very superficial. You want things to look good and feel good. But just because things look good and feel good, that doesn't always mean that they are good for you, okay? So that's a lesson that's in store for Taurus rising people. Also for Taurus rising, you can be very calm overall, but you can be stubborn. So once you get into your mind that you're going to do something a certain type of way, or that you feel a certain type of way about something, there's no talking you off that ledge, and you definitely can hold a grudge. You guys like luxury and aesthetic. You are very possessive, and you don't like to be in the spotlight per se, but you like to get recognition for your work. So you may want to do something that allows you to kind of have an audience, even though how are you are so petty. How do you even know that? What sound are you talking about? If you're talking about the sound that I think you're talking about, I'm cracking up right now.
What is it?
Constant.
Tell me to get out my business, bruh. You
my goodness. Y'all are, I can't. Oh, goodness. Okay, so yeah, that's Taurus rising. For Gemini rising people, Tiffany laughing. Bruh.
Y'all play all day.
Haven't seen you in so long. I missed this. Y'all laugh. It's perfect. Thank you, Nadia. It's good to see you. How are you, love? Yep, you already know. I'm talking about rising signs since you're just joining. I've already talked about Aries and Taurus rising. Now I'm moving on to Gemini rising, okay? So Gemini rising people, you guys have a heavy influence of Mercury in your first chart with your rising being Gemini, meaning you are very intellectual, very cynical. You're probably a good communicator, very charismatic. You really have a low tolerance for bullshit and stupidity. Like, if you feel like you're smarter than someone or you feel like your opinion is more valuable than them, you can be very much like, enough. I ain't even dealing with this. So much better and growing for real. Girl, we all growing through this craziness. So you guys can be very flighty in love, very intellectual, and again, you can be non-tolerant and flippant because you think you know everything, okay? And you don't. So you gotta open up to tolerating people a little bit because at one point you didn't know all the things that you know or you didn't have the experience that you have. So you gotta give people a little bit of grace and patience, Gemini rising people. Cancer rising, there's a heavy influence of moon in your first house. So you're very empathetic, very emotional, very much nurturing and sensitive to the energies around you. You can also be very protective, very passive in the way that you go about expressing your emotions, and you can be lazy because you're kind of wanting to just sit and float about the waters and you have to make a decision in this earthly existence, okay? So if you are a Cancer rising, your challenge is going to be getting out of your feelings and into your body, okay? Leo rising, you guys are very expansive, very generous, very mature. You can be very dramatic and theatrical. Rising means ascendant. So if you have looked at your birth chart, Constance, whatever your ascendant sign is, that is your rising sign. And every sign has a ruling planet. So like right now I'm talking about Leo, their ruling planet is the sun. So that means they reflect the light of the sun on other people and themselves. They want to be the center of attention. They want to look nice. Beauty is very important to them. Luxury and extravagance are very important to them. They want nice things. You know, they want to give nice things, but they want to receive nice things in return. So, you know, that's very much Leo. Nah, me and you. No, I haven't looked at no chart. I thought you might have. Everyone's into astrology. You don't have none of the apps, CoStar, Pattern, none of it. We'll talk, friend. We'll have to talk about it. We'll have to talk about it. Leo risings are also very social and arrogant. They can also be very controlling. Google bring up my chart. Go on cafeastrology.com and you can pull your chart for free, or you can book me to do your natal chart reading for you. So yeah, they can be very arrogant and controlling because they want things to look and feel a certain way, and if it's not like that, then it's not right, and they need you to do it over or start again. And so not everyone is going to be open to dealing with that sort of energy on a regular basis. Virgo, you guys, Virgo rising people have a heavy influence of Mercury in your chart as well. So much like Gemini, you can be very cynical, very critical, very non-tolerant, okay? But with Virgos, you guys are a little bit more open because you're more analytical and earthy about it. You can be more selective and charming. in the way that you go about addressing people on their bullshit. Okay, nah, you better work that business. I'll be home soon. Okay. I got you. Um, Virgo rising people can be very critical and sarcastic. So if you know a Virgo rising person, they probably have a smart mouth and they don't mean any harm. They just it's their nature.
What's
Okay.
my rising, baby?
I want to say that your rising is Capricorn.
What that mean? You already said that?
No, I have
Okay.
not. Virgo risings can also struggle with anxiety and feeling like it's hard to emotionally connect with people because they don't feel safe. So, if you are a Virgo rising, that's something that you may want to work through in terms of your relationships. You laughing at her? I know she just. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio, I am a Scorpio rising. We are Pluto energy, okay? Very intense. We are very clever and transformative, very intuitive and resourceful, but we can be very resentful, very vengeful, very possessive, and very controlling. Oh, we waiting for them caps. Nah, what she got to say? Okay, yeah. So with Scorpio rising, it's a very intense energy. People may be intimidated by you and not even know why. It's just kind of like you can walk into a room and change the energy or feel the energy of the room, and people don't even know why they feel you feeling that, but they do. Yep, my husband is a Scorpio. I'm sorry, it's so hard. I'm telling you, like
Just pray for me.
She's lucky that I am a Leo rising and Capricorn sun because she gets a little bit of balance. But I got a lot of Scorpio. I'm a little crazy. It is what it is. Vengeful, very persistent, victorious. They're gonna go through a lot of shit at the end of the day because it's in their nature to be transformative and they have to transform themselves to be able to help the people around them transform. So they're gonna go through a lot of shit, Scorpio rising people, but they will be victorious. They are the phoenix. They will always rise from the ashes. Okay, period. Yes, I'm being biased, but it's true. We are set up to go through a whole bunch of tests and bullshit, but we always make it through every time. Sagittarius rising, you guys have a lot of influence of Jupiter in your first house, meaning that you can be very lucky. A lot of fortune finds you very easily. You're very expansive and idealistic in your thinking. You kind of feel like the world is yours and you can have anything that you want. Hey, Ducky. So it makes you very restless and uninhibited. You're also very honest and direct, but in love, you are very non-committal. You like to have a lot of different experiences in love, so you may find that you settle down, but with the wrong person, that doesn't allow you the freedom that you would like, and so you end up exploring elsewhere. So if you're a Sagittarius person, be careful about committing to situations that you really know that you're not gonna commit to for real, because you guys will have a tendency to have an issue with that. And again, very expansive and restless in nature, Sagittarius rising. So you guys really can accomplish a lot when you put your mind to it. It's just a matter of you staying focused and not being so scatterbrained about it. Capricorn rising people, you guys have a lot of influence of Saturn in your first chart, meaning that you're very disciplined, very ordered, and very structured in the way that you go about doing things. You're also very cautious, reserved, and calculated. If you haven't thought everything down to the T, like I got my I's dotted, T's crossed, I know the up, the down, I got plan A, B, and C on the back burner, then you're like, I don't even want to do it, okay? You guys have to be that thorough about every little thing, and you're very attentive to detail. You guys can be very fun and nurturing, but in love, you're very jealous and possessive. You want your partner all to yourself. You can be very attention seeking and needy. You need words of affirmation. You need affection and love. If you don't feel like your partner can intellectually connect with you, then you don't want them at all. Okay, so that is very much Capricorn rising energy. Hey Dina, I'm up here just talking about rising signs and what your rising sign represents. If you're an Aquarius rising, that means you have a heavy influence of Uranus in the first house. You like to shake shit up. You like to be the change, the innovation, the inventor, okay? You want to be the spark of light, the new idea. You're very well spoken, very persuasive. Um, well, none of this has anything to do with me. I don't know what your rising sign is, Ducky. And I have already, did I talk about Libras? Did I skip Libra?
She biased, y'all.
I think I skipped Libra, but I'm gonna talk about y'all. But you're not a Libra rising. You're a Libra sun. I mean, you can put it together, but it's different. I don't even think I wrote my notes down for Libra, but that's okay. I can do it off the top of my head. Where was I? Okay, Aquarius. So you guys are very well spoken, very persuasive, impatient. You guys are also intolerant of stupidity. You don't have time for people who don't want to talk about something of substance. You don't like having small talk and discussing superficial subjects. Also, for Aquarius rising, you're very adventurous and friendly. You want to connect with a lot of different people and have a lot of new experiences, whether it be travel or just, generally going out and networking and connecting. Sagittarius are also busybodies in that aspect as well. Sagittarius rising people. Okay, Pisces rising, you guys have a heavy influence of Neptune in your first chart. So you're very dreamy, very imaginative, very, very spiritual. You can be very moody because you are empathetic, and sometimes you pick up the emotions of others, don't realize it, and that emotion becomes a part of you, and then you project that emotion out to other people. So you need to be mindful of doing that. You guys are very artistic and creative. It would serve you to find an outlet for that creativity, because if you don't, it can cause depression and anxiety for you guys. When it comes to Libra, if your rising is in Libra, you guys want to have everything be balanced. You want to be very objective in a lot of ways. But at the same time, it's like you don't know how to effectively communicate. At the end of this, can you explain a little more about the differences between your sun and rising aspects? Yes. I know I freaking wrote notes for Libra. I know I did. Maybe I didn't, but I know I did. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. See, okay, I did. So Libra rising, you guys are very extroverted, very charismatic, again, very objective. You want everything to be fair for everyone else, but at the same time, you're non-committal and you can be flighty in your own ideas. So it's like, if you don't hold true to one side, you can't expect everybody else to do that. That's for Libra risings. Also, you guys have a heavy influence of Venus in your first house as well, making you very superficial because you want things to have a certain aesthetic. You want things to look and feel a certain type of way. Okay, you want the beauty, you want the luxury, regardless to whether you like expensive things, quote unquote expensive, because expensive is different from all of us. Regardless of whether it's expensive or not, it's just you like things to feel a certain type of way. If it doesn't feel luxurious to you, whatever luxurious to you looks like, you're like, I don't want it. I'm good over here. I'm good. You guys will be better suited not committing to relationships that don't allow you to be the light that you are, because anything that tries to dim you down, you're going to rebel against, and there's always going to be a conflict and a problem. And you guys have a quick temper. So it'll just be like air and fire, ready to blow up. Probably shouldn't be dating no fire signs or anyone that has a fire rising or a fire moon. Just letting y'all know. Okay, that was all the signs. I'm gonna answer Cher's question, and then I'm gonna do a message for fire risings, earth risings, water risings, and air risings. Okay. So your sun sign represents your identity, which is the light that you reflect onto everyone else. So, like me, I'm a Capricorn sun. The light that I reflect onto everyone else is that I can inspire people to adapt a certain discipline, a certain order, a certain work ethic, a certain empowerment about themselves, and to be able to see things beneath the surface. Okay? So, your rising sign is the power that people see in you, the power that you reflect from yourself. Like, I am a Scorpio rising. So there's a certain energy that happens when I walk into a room, because people can literally feel me feeling them and see me seeing them. So sun has to do more with identity and personality. Rising has to do more with power and energy. And that's kind of the difference in the aspects. Now, I'm going to talk about moon signs next Monday, and we'll get into that. But your moon sign is how you emote, how you reflect on yourself to the world. So, like, if you're a Cancer moon and a Cancer sun, that means that you're not only just swimming in emotions within yourself, but you're swimming within the emotions of others, and they can feel it and they come to you for that. So they're going to continue that cycle, and your challenge is to learn how to get out of your feelings and into your body to take action on these things. So it gets a little deep. I will when I finish, like, I'm going to go through. Tonight we're doing rising, and then I'll do sun, and then I'll do moon, and so on and so on and so on. And then once I get through all of them, I'll do a video like I did on planets, where I'm explaining what each one is. I thought I was an air sign, so it changes. How does it change, Ducky? Libra is still an air sign. Are you saying because I said Venus? Okay, but yeah. Does that make sense? Cher, are you still in here? Are you still in here? I think she's still in here. Does that make sense? Before I go on. Before I let you go. Yes, thank you. Okay. You're welcome. Don't read my comments. I'm high and asking dumb questions. Girl, oh my goodness.
What is that?
Ducky. I'm start calling her ass just like a nigga. Y'all, my fiance made some iced tea, and it's so good. I'm a Pisces sun and Libra rising, so I feel like I'm a walking contradiction. I confuse my damn self. Ducky said, "Hey, baby."
Yo, what's up?
It's not really that you're confusing yourself. It's that you need to understand that you are two sides of a different coin. Okay, your Pisces side gives you your twins of water. So basically, Pisces are the water like version of Geminis. Your goal is to learn how to merge your two fish and make them work for you. Sometimes one needs to be swimming upstream and one needs to be swimming downstream, but sometimes they need to be swimming together. And the more that you try to pit them against each other, the more problems that you'll have. And it's the same thing with your Libra scale. You put so much focus as a Libra rising into being so fair to other people and putting so much energy into making sure that everyone else is okay, especially the people that are close to you. But you don't put that same energy and fight into yourself. And then when you start feeling yourself falling down or diminishing in energy, then you start getting angry. And everyone else around you is like, what the hell is going on? Because you were hungry and you basically didn't say, I'm hungry. You expected people to know that they needed to feed you. And that's just not how it works for you, because you're a nurturer, because you're the objective person, because you are the person, you're the equalizer. So as you're in your role as the equalizer, when you don't feel balanced, when you feel off kilter, you have to say something. And you'll always feel like you're battling yourself and you're in a fight with yourself. Until you embrace that energy. Does that make sense, Sharon? Hitting the nail on the head like you always do. Oh, thank you. Y'all, don't blow my head up. Don't blow my head up. All right. Hello. If you're just joining, I was just in here talking about rising signs, okay? I just went through a short introduction of what each rising sign is. I'm not going to go too deep into detail for y'all because your girl about to drop an intro to astrology class and you're going to have to pay for that information, okay? Or read it in a book and do your own research. Period. But that's just the gist of what each rising sign represents, how the planetary ruler of your rising sign is affecting you, and some things that you can focus on in terms of negative aspects and positive aspects of your rising sign. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do readings sorted by the elements for the rising sign. So we are going to start with, I think I want to start with Earth, and I'm going to use my Modern Witches, my Star Seed, and my Soul Trees. Yes, take my money. I'm so excited for it. Thank you. Yeah, so let's see. You Earth risings, what message do I have for you? So if your rising sign is in Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, this message is for you. I think your rising is Capricorn, baby. So that will be you. I think so. Have to double check, but I think so. Believe you're Aries sun, Capricorn rising, Gemini moon, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all, that Gemini moon, whoo, Lord.
Sweet like peaches.
Jesus be offense.
All around
Sweet and
me
sour.
every day.
You guys, on Wednesday when I come and do the astrology of the week, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to have you guys pick a number between blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And instead of doing individual readings for y'all like I normally do, I'm going to do pick-a-piles. And I'm trying to figure out if I want to pick the cards on camera or if I want to do it off camera and already have the piles laid out for each number. That's probably what I'm going to have to do because I'm going to be using like 6 or 7 different decks. So it's going to take me forever to like shuffle through all those on camera. So I'll probably just have the piles ready or do it at the beginning of the live and then reveal at the end of the live. I think that's what I might do. What do y'all think? Tell me in the comments. What should I do? Should I shuffle the cards off camera and have your piles ready? Or should I shuffle them at the beginning of the live and reveal at the end of the live? What should I do? Okay, so for Earth rising signs, the message that I'm getting is that you guys need to let go of the past. You're always going back to situations, maybe because you feel guilty, maybe because you feel like you owe the situation something more, maybe because you just feel like you want to be forgiving and nurturing. And you go back to the situation and you feel shuffle at the beginning, reveal at the end. Okay. Shuffle at the beginning, reveal at the end. Okay. Okay, y'all. Y'all just like watching me shuffle the cards low key. um so you go back and you pretend like everything is fine, even though you mentally you're so drained, you're so frustrated, you're so tired. You need to be open to new beginnings. You need to understand that there is more out here for you, and you have to be willing to tap into the magic. You're so focused on your current experience and what's right in front of you, the practicality of things, that you refuse to see the magic in situations and beginnings. You know, your life is what you make of it. There's magic in every moment if you choose to access it. So it's up to you to do that. It says learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. So we are here in this world as physical beings, but we are not of this world. We all come from stardust. We started as stardust, a breath of spirit, a breath of life. And then after we were given breath, then we became body. And then spirit had to come into that body. So it's a whole process, and you have to understand that just because you're in this world, just because you've had certain experiences, that does not mean that that is all that you are limited to. You are of a whole different dimension, and there's much more out here than what you can see in plain sight in front of your face. You got the love, codependency, and boundaries. Again, understanding that it's not for you anymore. That person keeps telling you, or that situation keeps telling you, you know, if it's a job, maybe they keep promising you a promotion that you haven't gotten, or promising you a raise that you haven't gotten. If it's a relationship, maybe they keep promising you depth that you haven't gotten, commitment that you haven't gotten, structure and discipline within the relationship, growth, that you haven't gotten. And you keep banking on the fact that, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Meanwhile, you up here drained as hell, frustrated as hell, tired as hell, mentally overwhelmed as hell. Let it go. Let it go. You don't need it anymore. And it's not even that you need the situation. You need the situation to need you at this point. And that is what's keeping you stuck. Let it go and move on to something else. That's the message for Earth Risings. Hey, Gabby. Hey, Alley Cat. What's up, you guys? So I asked a question on Wednesday when I go live, because y'all know I go live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. with the Astro Teas of the Week. And this week I'm going to be doing something different with readings. So I'm going to do pick-a-pile readings. And I'm going to put a certain set of numbers out there. You're going to have to pick a number. And based on that number, that's going to be your pile. And that's collectively. I'm not going to do it individually. So I was asking if I should shuffle the cards off live, because I'm going to be using different decks for each number. Probably like 2 or 3 different decks for each number. If I should just have the piles ready when I go live, or if I should shuffle the cards at the beginning of the live and then reveal at the end. And so far, everybody said shuffle at the beginning, reveal at the end. But I just want to know what y'all think. Okay, while y'all are putting that in the comments, I'm going to go ahead and continue. So we're going to move on to water signs, okay? So what message do I have collectively for water risings? This applies to you if you are a Pisces rising, Scorpio rising, or Cancer rising, okay? If you're watching this video back, not here on the live, but if you are watching this video back and this message resonates with you and you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can click the link in my bio to book that, or you can click the link in my description box if you're watching this video on YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. Yeah, the second one sounds good. Okay, Alley Cat. Gotcha. Okay. Come on, water signs. What y'all got to say? What's going on? Oh, okay, Magician flying right on out the deck. Okay, so for water signs, the message that I'm getting for you all is that you need to believe a little bit more in your talents. This is just for water risings, yes. You need to believe a little bit more in your talents and in your ability and your skill. You need to treat yourself a little bit more fairly, okay? You have been doubting yourself in a lot of ways, and you've been staying stuck in that self-doubt and that self-criticism, and you have not given yourself your just due, okay? You've been selling yourself short in a lot of ways, and it's time out for that. It's time out for it. You need to detach from that self-criticism, from that self-doubt, from that overwhelming sense of emotion, because you need to understand that some of that is not yours. You have an innate ability to take on the emotions of others, whether you've realized it or not. And a lot of y'all are probably not like me, because I know what I'm doing and I'm accessing people's energies every day. A lot of y'all are not doing cleansing. You're not doing protection, you know, on a regular basis. And so those things can really linger on you. And it's important that you find an outlet for that, whether it be creativity, whether it be sweating, whether it be doing self-care. If your rising sign is Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, then you are a water rising. You need to find an outlet for that. You guys also have you got the love card, which represents codependency, boundaries, and Hadarian energy. I feel like you need to, the earth needed to set boundaries with other people. Y'all need to set boundaries with yourself, because you give too much, and then you find yourself depleted and you don't know how to let go. The golden children, again, tapping into your innocence, your gifts, your tenderness, doing that inner child work to release some of those triggers that keep you in that loop of self-doubt and self-criticism. So that's for you, water risings. Is anyone a water rising in here? Does that resonate with you? Let's do air next. If you are Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra rising, then you are an air rising. Let's see what y'all got going on. Hey, I'm Priceless. How are you doing tonight, love? I was kind of on a roll with that water reading when you came in. You're an Aquarius sun or rising? I'm a Gemini rising. Okay. All right. So we got some air risings in here. all of these wanted to come out for y'all, so I'm going to take them all out. Oh, well, that's good. Okay, so for air rising people, the message that I'm getting here is that it's time for you to take some time to yourself. You've been presented with a new opportunity. You feel like things are going well, better at least than it was in the past, where you felt like you maybe were being tested, or there was some chaos that was happening. Now all of that is kind of balancing out, but you need to take time to yourself to kind of reflect and be grounded in these new things that are manifesting and happening, because it's like everything is happening so fast and it's all in your head, but you don't know if you can physically maintain all of it, or you haven't been able to clearly see yourself physically maintaining all of it. But you can. You're good. It's just a matter of you clarifying things and taking that period of isolation to learn what you need to learn and to reflect on what you need to reflect on, so that you can come out ready to share your intellect. You guys always want to share your intellect and be the most knowledgeable in the room about what it is that you're offering, but you maybe feel like you haven't been able to do that in this particular situation. So instead of resisting the situation, turning your back, acting aloof, and acting like you don't care, being detached from the situation, pour into it, because it's definitely going to bring you a sense of expansion. It's definitely going to bring you a sense of growth. And you'll notice that new energies that have been forgotten within yourself begin to emerge from that. You guys have Fallen Into My Arm and Earth School come through. Fall Into My Arms have to do with surrendering to the extremes of life, understanding that through the highs and lows, you are comforted, you are supported, you are always connected to source. Okay, I love the message on this, so I'm going to read it to you guys. But before I do that, the Earth School, again, has to do with higher learning, studying, developing your knowledge, just like the Hermit goes and tells you to do. So there's an affirmation of that energy. Here it is. Hi, Santa Monica Granny. How are you, Dove? Fall into my arms. The Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life can be, that being human can be lonely and confusing, that the polarity and separation can be excruciating when your soul remembers the oneness of Source. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. So often we see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that we're being rewarded, and when things are bad, perhaps we've done something wrong. However, we're all here to expand and grow. It's through the extremes of life that we do exactly that. You're being invited to welcome the highs and lows of the human experience, to let them initiate you more fully into life, the agony and ecstasy, the beauty and the bitterness. This life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. The Great Mother wants you to hand over your loneliness, worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, burdens, and doubts, to lay them on her altar, to fall fully into her arms, to remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. The more wildly the pendulum of your life swings, the more truthfully you can say, I've lived. Isn't that so beautiful, you guys? Okay, so that was the message for the air rising signs. Let's now do Earth. Did I do Earth already, y'all? Why do I feel like I did Earth already? Did I do Earth? I did, baby. Okay. We did Earth and air. So let's do water. Why do I feel like I did water too? Did I do water, babe? No, I didn't. Okay, so let's do water. Y'all, I'm sorry. Like, I can't keep up sometimes. I'll be like, I always write it down in the order that I'm going to do it so that I know what I've done, and then I never end up doing it in that order. I don't know why. I did do water, Allie. Yes, you did all but fire. Okay, thank y'all. See? So I know I wasn't tripping. I'm like, I could have sworn I did water. I did water first. Okay, so let's do fire since I did all but fire. Okay, and we'll end it on the fire. So if you are a Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius rising, this message is for you. Who's a fire rising in here? That was so beautiful. Thank you. You're welcome, Nadia. I'm glad you enjoyed. I love that message. I love when that card pops out. It's such a comforting message. Okay. Just like that, huh? When I move, you move. You, it's Scalian. Oh, I didn't know that was you. I'm gonna have to follow this page. You're in Aries rising. Okay. Oh man, y'all fire. Y'all are running away from your gifts. Why?
That shit, face that shit.
Why are you doing that? Y'all are running away from your gifts. It's like your gifts have been revealed to you in these past couple of years. Not only have they been revealed to you, they've been amplified, and for some reason you're afraid to walk into them and take up space. Why? You guys are normally so boisterous and like ready to take action, but for some reason you out here afraid to show the vulnerability in these talents. You got unique gifts in reverse, you got mystery, you're holding on, you're hiding. You got the Star, the Emperor, and the Three of Wands. Maybe you don't feel like you have the support that you need, or you will have the support that you need. Maybe you feel like things aren't happening as fast as you want them to happen, but you are denying your depth and you're finding other ways to cope instead of tapping into your creativity. And it's creating addiction, it's creating codependency, it's creating depression and anxiety. And all you really need to do is just develop your gifts. If you don't feel comfortable sharing them yet, go find somebody that's doing what you want to do and study underneath them or watch them. Take a course. You know, if it's not that and you don't feel like your talent is good enough, you just don't feel like you're ready yet. You are ready. You just don't want to let yourself be seen. You don't want to let yourself be heard. And I don't know why. Spirit is not telling me why. I feel like it has to do with a lack of accountability and a lack of support. Maybe you can confirm or deny, Galen, if you're still in here. But that's y'all's message. You gotta walk into your gifts, my loves. You fire risings. Gotta walk into your gifts. That's it, you guys. This was my little short spiel on water signs, or not water signs. Shit. I've had a long day. On rising signs, okay? On rising signs and how you can tap into your the energy of your rising sign, what that represents in terms of, you know, general communication and relationships. and some messages to go on for your rising sign in general. So I'm glad you all were here with me to tune in, and I'm thankful that you all have enjoyed this. Please tune in with me on Wednesday at 9 p.m. We'll be doing the astrology of the week, and I'll be doing pick a pile readings for you guys. You guys can book a personal reading with me at 11moons11.com. That link is definitely in my bio. Thank you all again for tuning in, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. By the way, I am wearing Soul Snatcher lip gloss. You can purchase this lip gloss on my website. It is $8 if you would like to purchase the lip gloss by itself. It does come in a wand tube like this, but mine is in a squeeze tube because I ran out of my wand tube. But yeah, it's $8 if you want to purchase it by itself, or you can buy a lip gloss bundle and get 5 glosses for $25. Thank you for everything I do. I love you so much. I love you too, Nadia. I hope you have a good night as well. All right, you guys, have a good night, and I'll see y'all on Wednesday.